The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Everybody, and welcome to the Happiness Jungle with, yours truly, the Chief Happiness Officer, Lyn-Dee Eldridge. You know what? When it comes to living life and having a lot of solutions to be successful for personal and for business, you're going to gravitate towards this show today. Today, I am so excited to be able to share my set. Debby, Hoffman, Adair.
Hello.
Hello. Author, speaker, and solutionist. I love it. And right before the show, she's starting to tell me stories about her journey. And I'm like, don't tell me anymore. I want everybody else to hear it. So first of all, Debby, I just want to share with you this show, The Happiness Jungle. It's all about helping people live in the now, present, and enjoying their life.
You know, ever since I met you, there's a song that has been playing in my head. And it's the one from the Monk TV show. It's a jungle out there. It's a jungle out there. And I think about you and happiness, and I'm like, what a great idea. I love it. I love it.
Thank you so much. So we're sitting here. I'm gravitating towards you. I'm realizing that how long have we gone back? We saw each other last week.
Yeah, and then probably I think it was in 2008.
2008. That is quite a long time, and you are now living a dream that I am dreaming about. You're RVing.
I'm all about adventure now.
I want our audience to find out exactly, how did you come to where you are today? Who's Debby? Who's that child in Debby that brought her to her adult playground today? So share a little bit of, hey, I came from, and this is what I had, and now I'm doing.
Well, I just did a networking seminar, which I've done for a long time. But this particular time, I started up by telling them that I had just celebrated my 60th birthday. And I said, do you think I'm celebrating 60 years on this earth? Actually, no, I'm celebrating that I have been positive for 30 years. Because on my 30th birthday, I was going to give myself the gift of checking out. I was done. Obviously, I didn't do it, and an angel intervened. But
so you were done. Life was choking you that hard.
Oh, it was horrible.
Really.
And I had grown. I mean, now hindsight is 20/20. I mean, I realized I had grown up in a negative environment. I had a negative life. I had all these things coming on top of me, from children being sick to businesses, well, whatever. And I realized, boy, you had to feel really bad about yourself if that's what I wanted to do on my 30th birthday.
Wow.
So fast forward, it's been 30 years of positivity, and just so you know, being positive is so much more fun.
It is so.
But that's why I celebrated my 60th, not because of the years on the earth.
You're 60 years old.
Yes, I've aged well. I'm preserved.
You're
but
gorgeous.
It's the positive. That's it. That's really it. I just always, I have such joy in my life. I mean, I still have bad days. Everybody has a bad day. Everybody has things that go wrong. But I've really learned that life really is a journey.
Yeah, it is.
And it's all about learning and putting yourself in different positions and meeting the most wonderful people and having fun and taking adventure. So it's all wrapped up. So that's who I was. I used to be very negative, and now I've lived a positive life for 30 years.
Wow. A lot of our audience, they're sitting on the couch right now, and they feel like when you were 30 years old, you know, like, what's in it for me? And talk to them. I want them to get on. My show is all about activity, so when they turn the show off today, that they go and do a positive action. You want to play a game with me?
Sure.
Okay, I have a spontaneous game.
Okay.
And people never know when I'm going to pull this out.
Okay.
And what it is I have 4 cards, and there's an action on the card. And you're going to give a positive twist to whatever action it is.
Okay.
I know, people are like, my guests are like, and you didn't tell me about this before, so I could at least
Did
prepare.
I say that? No, I said, yes, I'm up for it. There you
Okay.
go. Go give it to me.
So, we have those that are just in that woe's me, or they're just stuck. Some of them aren't even in the woe's me. A lot of happy people watch our show just to get another solution to get
I hear you.
de-stressed.
I'd be watching.
So here's an action that we all do. You pick a card.
I want the hot pink. What's
There
the
you
hot
go.
pink? Eat, play, exercise. What do I?
Eat, play, and exercise. So now, turn that into a rhythm that our audience can now take action. Should they be eating better so they could play better and exercise? What is exercise? Like me, don't tell me I have to go to a gym. I like to dance. What is it? So share that happy twist to help the people change right now their living habits.
Well, first of all, the eat part. I love to go out to restaurants and things like that, but I don't have an office to have people come over. So I always meet people, and I meet them for tea. Let's go for tea. And I love that connection, that one-on-one, that's sitting around a round table and learning about people. So I do that mostly over tea and maybe a gluten-free cookie. I don't know. And I play. I love to play with people.
Right.
I love to brainstorm. I love to imagine new things. And the exercise, I got to be honest with you, I'm not as good at exercises as I could be. However, just today, Lyn-Dee, I was thinking, all right, now I'm settled where I'm going to be for a while. I think it's time for me to get a gym membership.
Okay.
And it's not something that I have to do. It's something that I wanted to do. This is something that I think, I think it's time. I really do like a treadmill.
Yeah.
I really do like that sort of thing. And so, I mean, I'm not going to, if I break a sweat, wow. But I know that that's important. And you know what it's important for? It's important to really keep yourself healthy.
I like that. You just got off a road trip in an RV.
So I've been in a van for a long time.
You've been in a van. Tell us about that, because one of my dreams is to get that RV and just hit the road for as long as I want to until I'm ready to settle again. And
Well, that's what we
did it.
did.
You're doing it. Did it, do it.
We
Done it.
sold our house and on December 1st last year, 2015, and my husband built a beautiful RV out of a cargo van.
Can I get some pictures of it so we could show the audience?
I will make sure you got that.
Good.
And he figured it all out. Now, my husband and I had been married at that moment for 6 years. He had a beautiful big house when I met him, and it was just overwhelming. So we got a smaller house, and that seemed to be overwhelming too, because there was just so much to do. And so he wanted to get a tiny house. We love that tiny house nation. And I said to him, no, I don't mind the tiny part. It's that I don't want to stay still. If we're going to do this, I want to travel, like a camper or something like that. And he didn't want a camper. There's all these issues and stuff like that. So I said, well, you decide. We actually looked at school buses and all things, and we came up with a cargo van, just a white cargo van. There's nothing special. He bought it out in New York. He found it, and he stripped all the inside because it was an oxygen van, and it had a lot of metal into it. And he built it from the inside. And I told him, I am not going unless it's cute.
Now, is he a carpenter?
Well, that's the funny thing. He had told me before in his life somewhere he had been a carpenter. And in the 6 years we had been married, I never saw any evidence of it. It was like, you're a carpenter? So we got this idea, and I told him, I am not helping you. You have to do this, because I had to sell our house, sell all of our furniture, and pack. And I knew that he wasn't going to help me in that. And he needed to be responsible for this piece. And he did a great job. It's adorable, adorable, adorable. And we put there's a roof on that goes up about 4 feet, and that's our queen-size bed upstairs.
Wow.
And it folds up during the day, so that the ceilings in the van are way over 10 feet.
Oh,
and they've got windows all around it. So it's very bright. When I say I live in a van, it sounds like I live in a hole. But it's very bright and cheery, and he put beautiful wood paneling, and we have a sofa in there. We have all sorts of things. It's just amazing. And so people ask us this question. They say, did you go a lot of camping before you did this? And we're like, No, we never slept in that van until the day we sold the house, and we had no choice. We had to do that. And people a lot ask us, well, why didn't you just like rent the house in case you didn't like it? And I'm like, you know what? We didn't want to. If we rented the house, we would still have all this maintenance that needed to be done, and we didn't want to do it. But B, a lot of people are so worried about trying something new, and they have like a fallback if it doesn't work out. And I don't believe you need to do that. I mean, we just decided that we were going to try this adventure. At first, we thought about a year we'd do it. And then we realized that there was too much that we wanted to see. So then we said, okay, we'll do it for 2 years. Now we realize that it'll be 3 years. It'll be 3 years because we've gone a lot of places, but we still have a lot of things to do. And then when we find where we want to settle, we are going to have a yurt, which is a tent, and that's a whole nother story. And so that will take about 8 months to put the yurt together and all the land and property and stuff like that. So it'll be about 3 years that we're actually living in the van. But we just came back from a 2-month trip. We went out to Montana and Idaho and Washington, all at the northern. We went to see the Glacier National Forest, which is so beautiful. And we were gone, and we keep coming back here because this is our base in New Hampshire. We have family, we have lots of friends, and this is where my business.
Home.
This is home. But we spent most of the winter in Florida and in Georgia, and that area, and
wherever you want, wherever you go. And you know what I love about you? You're such a giver that we're so blessed. You're like an angel with wings.
Oh,
it's true, because wherever you go, you also bring and deliver such amazing events and positivity, and it's exciting. How can people get a hold of you? That's first of all, because I have to share with you that Debbie, not only does she mentor so many, oh my goodness, but I think that it's very important that we invest in ourselves. But it has to be worth an investment. And there are so many people out there, so many women out there, that if you hear that Debbie Hoffman Adair is in your area, you need to check out what's going on, for real.
We have lots of fun events, too. I actually created, don't ask me
Tell
how.
me about the event with your bracelet.
Well, first of all, we created a group of women that, I'm a motivational speaker, so I have a following, and women wanted to have a little bit more time with me. And so anyway, we created this thing called In the Presence of Positive Women. And it's just an organization, it's a membership, but we always say we walk by your side, and I gather positive women from all walks of life, and we bring them together, and you will find the person that you need to walk by your side this time, or make you laugh, or whatever. And then through that group, I just brainstorm and come up with ideas. I met this fabulous woman, Beth Gross Santos, who does the gratitude bracelets. And I'm like, oh, tell me more. And it's probably hard to see, but these are the gratitude bracelets. This is the one I just made. And she does a thing about a whole program on gratitude. And then and they're made from olive pits. I mean, it gets really crazy. This is the story of my life. I meet the most interesting people.
Because you're open to
and they are fabulous, and I have this compelling need to bring them to meet other people. And that's what really In the Presence of Positive Women does.
And that's why you're a solutionist.
And there you go. And I know I was a person that was going to kill himself 30 years ago. I had no friends. I had no life. I couldn't get out of my own way.
Right.
Now I know people all over the country. So some of the things that we're doing when we're traveling in the van is we're catching up with friends. We're staying in their driveway. We're meeting them on the trail. We're meeting new people and bringing them involved. So when I was out in California, I met two particular fabulous women that I will be going back to California. I'll fly, but in December, and I'm meeting with them. We're going to brainstorm on how we can have a women's conference out there on positivity.
Wow.
And you and I talk about going to Florida. I have done Florida, but I need more my positive peeps down there. So.
Oh, yes. There is an event that will be happening in Florida.
Yeah.
Yep, after January 2017. You bet your sweet Bippy there will be. No doubt. You and your husband, I am so intrigued with you because a lot of people that are around our age, they're like, there's no way that we would do that. And that's craziness, because right now, guys, this is the golden years. So for everybody that's younger, 50 and younger, you're right, you haven't hit the golden years, but come on. It gets to the time where when you have nobody else and you can spread your wings, you started your road trip with your husband, who is a carpenter in another life. What did he do before he retired?
Well, he's on a disability through the he was a combat medic in Vietnam, but he really is. Thank you. He's wonderful. He really is an artist. So he's a musician.
Okay, I have to stop right here.
Okay.
I want you to give him this.
Okay.
And then I want you to take one, and I give those out all over the world. And literally, they're just like, you know, like for good energy. So whenever they're thinking, they fiddle faddle. Yeah, woohoo. Yeah.
Well, he's a really wonderful man, and but he's really an artist. He
must be. He built a home
writes,
out of a
he's
band.
a playwright. He's a actor. He's a singer. He, as a matter of fact, he wrote this music. It's a whole song, and it is so beautiful. It's called Blueprint Future. His name is Rick Adair.
Rick Adair.
And his father was a famous music writer in Hollywood. He wrote music his name was Tom Adair, and he wrote music for Frank Sinatra. And so that it's in the genes here. So, but he's really an artist. So even when it came to designing this van, everything inside, it's art. It's really art, how he did everything.
How long did it take him?
It took him 10 months. And
10 months, okay.
And when people would see it, they wouldn't see everything that was happening, because some of it you had to take all the metal out of because it was a cargo van. And then he has insulated that thing so superbly, because we have a cat. And we had 2 cats and a dog that were going to come on the trip with us.
Oh.
The dog was a service dog, so the dog could always go out. But I said to him, you have to design this so that if we're someplace where it's really warm and we go to a movie, the cats don't perish, you know?
Right.
So he did. And now the dog did not come with us, and one of our cats, it just was better that they stayed with friends. But one cat is on board, and she's so adorable.
So
it's insulated. So anyway, the insulation took forever. So all of the pieces that went into it, and then now it's beautiful, but people would be like, "Oh, is this going to take you?" He was meticulous. He drew it all out. It was just fabulous watching him do this. And now wherever we go, no one's ever seen anything like this, and so we get stopped all the time. People are, want to see inside.
We should be in an RV magazine.
We should be. We should
never.
We've taken pictures and stuff all along the way. He said he went to YouTube University to figure out how to do this.
YouTube University.
But nobody agreed on anything, and so he created it all. So we took pictures along the way. We didn't take videos, because I don't know about you, but sometimes if you watch those videos, like, this is how we hammer something. No, we just showed what we did, what he did. And every night I would go out and sit in the van with him, and he would show me what he did this time. Because remember, I'm selling getting the house ready for sale, packing, and
downsizing.
We sold just about everything. We've got a storage unit, there's a few pieces of furniture, but very little. And here's another thing, positive happiness. I gave away most of the stuff to people that I knew. Like, if I had something and I loved this, and I knew the value, and I knew I would never get the value of it, I would give this to someone that I knew loved it, or someone that loved the color, or something like that.
I talk about that all the time.
I now go visiting friends, and they have, that was my coffee table. This is,
Doesn't that make you feel great?
It does, because it wasn't about the money. It was about who is going to enjoy this.
Dad, we got to stop right here, because we have just hit. There is so many triggers that were just said by you within the last 3 minutes.
Okay.
That I want our audience to, first of all, realize that downsizing is a great thing. And she just shared with you how you could downsize with love, giving, and then you get to enjoy it again because you revisit it.
Absolutely. I have to tell you that I had another life before, and I was married for 30 years. And when I left that life, it was so hard to pack up and leave things. I couldn't do it. I had to have friends come over. They didn't have to pack, but they had to sit with me because it was just so traumatic.
Very hard.
But that being said, so I've already given away about, and I was like, you know what? I live to tell the tale. And I remember, this is funny. I remember the only things that I really missed were things that I had in my garden. I gave some of them away, so I still see them. So this time around, remember, my husband does not know what's in that storage unit because I put everything in there, and it was in the back. The first things I put in were all the things that I had found for my gardens, and so that I can bring them back to when I have another garden. Those were the things that I missed the most, so that's what I kept in the now storage unit. But it's not hard to do. I mean, it's hard, but it's like once you do it, you're so free. You're so free.
It's like all that weight. You know what somebody told me one time when I was downsizing, because I too was getting ready for the RV lifestyle, so I learned to downsize. One of the greatest gifts was, first of all, just like what you did, give things to, if somebody comes in and says, my God, I love that, give it. The other thing that was extremely powerful to me was if you look at this and you could say, would my kids keep that? Or would they throw it away? Throw it away. Because if it has no value, it has no value. And you don't want to take it with you. So downsizing became easier. What was really exciting, though, is that I didn't end up I got a very small storage, because you want to keep some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I have family photos. I have a few pieces of furniture that were my grandmother's or whatever. I kept those.
There's a process to downsizing, and it's so doable that you're going to enjoy and love it. Huh? Talk about decluttering. There are some of our viewers out there, and they're hoarders. They're either excessive hoarders or what have you. But this is a great way to share your stuff and be able to live a happier life. Right?
Absolutely. And I'm not anymore at this minute, but I loved going to consignment shops.
Yeah.
I love going bargain hunting. I love going to even the dump, the swap shops and things like that, because I have become a person that makes things out of old. That's the artist in me. But for the past couple of years, I have not been able to do that. Why? Because I knew I was going in a van. And even when we travel, my husband knows that I love to do that. He'll say, today I've decided that we're just going to go to the junk shops for you. We're in the van, right? And I say to him, oh, you're so cute, but we're not, because I can't take anything. I can't.
That's a tease.
It's too much, so I don't do that. So I look forward to someday being able to do that again. But the stuff that's in those consignment shops, people gave them away. That's what they.
One man's junk is another man's treasure, and I am a firm believer of that. I know that for a fact, and I also know that I've given away clothes that still had labels on them only because whatever reason, and now they're in a consignment store, and somebody else has the blessing of wearing something brand new,
There you go.
What. I love it.
So that's how you can.
It's true.
Spread a lot of happiness out there.
It's true, and then for people that are starting over, you have new homes. Me too. When I was starting over and I didn't have a penny to my name, and I was in South Florida, the palm trees, they would fall. Some of the leaves, some of those tremendous barks and everything, whatever they're called. And they would fall. And I looked at them one day and I said, oh my God, what if I get spray paint and I could paint them? And I did, and then I spackled them, and I would hang them on my wall, and people would come, and they'd go, oh, my God, that's beautiful.
Yeah, there you go.
And when I was done with them, because, your artwork sometimes, it's enough, whoever said they loved it, all of a sudden found it wrapped, and it was there. So several ways that you could downsize and start over, several solutions about that.
And you bring joy.
And you bring joy. And I can't wait for my RV part of my life, because I'm like you. I know that eventually I'm going to want to settle back, and that's when I'll go and I'll get my little tchotchkes again and make my cozy home, right?
Absolutely, because there's always more consignment shops that you can go to.
There is. So no matter how you travel in life, no matter where you are in life, everything is doable.
We found this sign when we had our bigger house, and it was just an oddball that cost $5. I remember it. It says, "Surprise me." That's what it said. So we were just like, okay, that's the only picture that's hanging in the van.
Really?
Surprise me.
Surprise me.
Okay, where are we going to go? surprise
Surprise
me.
me. I like that. Surprise me.
Yeah, and we always have a plan. You know,
Sure.
we're going towards Montana.
Right.
Okay, but
But you don't have any time to get
No.
there. There's no restrictions.
Nope, we just
Do you
go.
remember Monday through Friday? Do you remember the
no,
days of the
we have
week?
to.
Or
We have to actually. Somebody at some campground, they gave us one of the little sticky calendars. You know, you can put paper. And Rick's like, let's just throw that away. I'm like, no. Because every time you ask me, what's today's date? We have to get out our phone and stuff. So I made him put it on, it's like on the front dash
Right.
so that we can see it. And he thought that was silly. But he's like, you're right. Now at least we can say, I think it's this day or Saturday or something. And sometimes we would have, you know, look, we're going to meet a friend.
Yeah.
We met friends out in Montana, a friend that started in New Hampshire.
how are
and
you
she's
able to
about
meet people? Do you network? Do you go to events? Do you use
No.
meetup.com? Or do you just say hello?
I just say hello.
Just say hi.
There's a lot of people out there. And again, I'm meeting, some people I'm meeting, I already know them, but
Right.
we're going to meet up here and they're going to introduce me to some. This time around, we did not go to any events. We just
Right.
had. But when I was in Florida this past winter, I went to a few things just to say hi. I'm a Toastmaster, so I
Yeah.
might go into Toastmaster meetings or something. But
Right.
we're always meeting people at
You
the
always seem
campgrounds
to
and
like
stuff.
go to where you gravitate to. Toastmaster. Oh, there's a Toastmaster in Florida. I guess I'll go and I'll introduce
Yeah.
myself to this group.
We had a blast.
You know, I want to take this time now to go out to my audience because the biggest thing is that they need to be active after they watch each one of our shows.
Absolutely.
And I want to take you back to the happy part where you said 30, no more. The rest of my life, bring it on.
Mm-hmm.
Give them that 30-second, all you need to do and all you need to do to believe in yourself is gravitate towards what's the solution for that person that's sitting on the edge of life saying that there's got to be something better.
I read this quote. It was, I think, a Bible quote, but I can't quote. Here it says, if you live only for this world, you really get nothing. But if you live your life in order to get to heaven, whatever your interpretation of heaven is, then you not only get to go to heaven, but you get to have this life too. So I live a life of, what do I think the universe, how can I help the universe the best? What can I do? And I do it, but it brings me such joy and happiness. And I think if people think that way, you can't go wrong.
If it feels good, do it.
Yeah, go help
Guys,
somebody.
Go what?
Go help somebody.
Go help somebody. We never said life was easy, but we did say you could be happier. Debbie, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This
Oh
has been
my
fun.
goodness. Will you come back?
I would love to.
All right, awesome. I also do a panel. So with that, everybody, the Happiness Jungle says, go get active.
Bye-bye.
Take charge of your life.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.